Yeah, this could be a problem. A big problem for any other club that wants to win silverware and shares the competition with Real Madrid this season. Well, for any season going forward, really, as there's a cascading or snowball effect to all of this. The 68th minute, a dominant Bellingham puts it on a plate for Mbappe, and a powerful finish into the top corner from the Frenchman. The iconic celebration followed, and oh look, another world-class player in Vinicius mirrors the celebration. While the first half was really poor, the second half of Real Madrid versus Atalanta saw these stars playing together and showing how terrifying they can become. A true nightmare that nobody will relish playing against beyond maybe scoring their kit at the end of the match. Real Madrid is not only dominating in the present, where it's difficult to see another club that can top them, but they are solidifying their allure even more so for the future as well. A president that has a clear plan, a group of young talented players that are addicted to winning, and the perfect manager to guide them and tie it all together. Hey guys, I'm Adrian and welcome to the channel. This is my third video back, but YouTube is cutthroat when it comes to taking a break, so you may just be finding me for the first time since the Euros. But here we are, let's talk about Real Madrid, a scary club for everyone else. And do you know what this kit is? Be honest. From Adrian's Closet of Curious Kits, which is made possible thanks to our friends at Sangalo, we have Young Elephants, a club that was only founded in 2015 and has the backing of ambitious Singaporean owners. Also, a sick club badge. They won a cup in 2020 and their kits are nice. For more unique kits just like this one from under-celebrated corners of the football world on Sangalo to fill in your kit collection. Trust me, kits you've never seen before. And enter code RBTV at the checkout to get a further 10% off. Thanks Sangalo, and let's get to Real. Say what you will about Florentino Perez, but under his guidance and through his own very strong decision making, he has somehow brought Real Madrid to a level where not only do they have the historic allure, but they don't need to pay other clubs for players anymore, as most are happy to forego signing a new deal at their current club in order to join Real Madrid as a free agent. Perez has essentially created a world where Real Madrid oftentimes get world-class players for free. I know that's in big quotation marks, as no transfers are free with signing bonuses and everything taken into account. But at least the signing bonuses are worth far less than the transfer fees they would pay out to other clubs. Other clubs don't get paid. Real Madrid get a player for cheaper than they otherwise would have. Look to Antonio Rudiger, who has been one of the best defenders in the world in the last couple of years. David Alaba, a proven winner and top player with Bayern Munich for many seasons. And now the crown jewel, Kylian Mbappe, arguably the best player in the world over the last couple of years, at minimum in the top three, right? And he walked into Madrid for free. With Mbappe, they had to play the ultimate waiting game, something that perhaps other clubs would have become a little bit nervous or impatient about, but no doubt they knew that beyond playing in his own city of Paris, Real Madrid was his boyhood club and his dream, and it would only be them. Conversations about his love for AC Milan, which is true, were nothing but a distraction from the path that he was destined to walk down. Now there are constant rumors about Alphonso Davies being the next player to walk into Real Madrid for free, as Carlo Ancelotti told the media that Real Madrid's transfer window is closed for the summer, so no 35 million euro offer or anything like that for the Canadian left back will be made. This certainly follows the recent pattern that we've seen, doesn't it? When you look back on their transfer windows over the last 5 years or so, let's go back to 2019 as an example, that felt like the final Galactico style window for Real Madrid when they brought in Eden Hazard for 120 million euros, a player who was fully established in his career, and we all know how that went, unfortunately for him and Real Madrid. He was 28 at the time, and that was the last time they spent that kind of money on someone over the age of 22. That's not to say they won't drop bags of cash on talented players, but not at that age, where injuries are a little more likely. 103 million on Bellingham, but he was 20. Tchouaméni was 22 when they spent 80 million on him. Camavinga was 18 when they spent 31 on him. Older players, they come on freeze. Alaba in 2021 when he was 29. Rudiger in 2022 when he was 29. Old man Mbappe at the age of 25. And so it feels like the summer of 2019 was a turning point for them, as that was also the same window where they paid a ton for Luka Jovic as well. it's not like Real Madrid will never go wrong in the market again, right? Endrick carries a lot of expectation upon himself and has a lot to prove in the eyes of rival supporters and critics and even Real Madrid supporters. But Real Madrid's transfer market dealing seems to have a distinct formula now. Spend transfer fees on young talents, sign old talents for free. And the draw of playing at a historic club with a talented group does the rest. Take Tchouaméni as an example, a highly sought after player at AS Monaco that Liverpool really thought they were going to be able to sign. But as soon as Real Madrid comes into the equation, like those other youngsters that Real have spent money on, it's a no-brainer for them. Not just to be able to say you played for Real Madrid in your career, but to play with these players and win trophies, a group of top talents that have that winning gene in them under a top manager. And there's the longevity of this pull as well. It's not just this current generation that looks back on the Galacticos or way back on Real Madrid's entire history. Now there's this generation of players who are growing up that will have seen Modric and Kroos, but now Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappe, Valverde, Tchouaméni, etc. Real Madrid's constantly solidifying their place at the top through their achievements in the present, which will pay dividends in the future growth. Few will be able to ignore the pull that they have, as if it wasn't difficult enough to do so already when you get to play with these players. Atalanta was Real Madrid's first competitive fixture of the season. Yes, it's closer to a friendly cup than a competitive one for a club like Real Madrid, because when they look back on their season, if the Super Cup was the only thing that they had won, they would never consider that a successful campaign. But my point being, this was game one, the first time we saw Mbappe and the other stars together, and it was genuinely terrifying in that second half. While the spotlight was on Mbappe due to him making his debut and of course getting a debut goal, the other two heads of the Hydra left their mark as well. Vinicius with a mazy run to set up Valverde for the first goal. Another player to watch out for, by the way, Valverde. As well as Bellingham's dominance in the second half, where he again drew comparisons to previous Real Madrid midfield maestros, such as Zinedine Zidane. He was killing it out there. Considering this was game one, we got to remember that this was their first match together. It was impressive to see just how well Bellingham, Vinicius, Mbappe, and at times Rodrigo were all linking up. They would cut through the Atalanta defense with ease in the second half, and it's easy to understand why. Well, one, because they are some of the best players in the world, which would often necessitate defenders doubling up on them as well. That's the second aspect. Because when there are multiple players that need to be doubled up on, you're playing whack-a-mole, essentially. Cover one, another pops up free. Let one drift from your attention, and they'll make an overlapping run that the ball carrier has the ability to pick out. They leave defenders on skates, scrambling to try and cover all bases, pulling them out of their shape, and they have the technical ability to finish you and be economical with the few chances they are given. But you know that with this group, they'll have a lot of chances, especially if they go up in the match first. If you have to chase a game against Real Madrid, if you have to push players forward, good luck keeping up with Bellingham, Vinicius, and Mbappe in transition. This sounds like glazing. Predictable comments from people are going to be saying that, but it's quite simply a fact. Here I am watching my Benfica struggle away the Famalicão, struggling and losing 2-0, while Real Madrid supporters get to watch this. Then they have guys like Arda Güler on the bench, Eduardo Camavinga, Luka Modric, Brahim Diaz, to a lesser degree until he shows what he's made of, Endrick as well. Naturally, this begs the question of how do you keep everyone happy? Previous iterations have seen jealousy and big egos wreak havoc in the dressing room, but by all accounts out of Real Madrid, this is apparently one of the most harmonious dressing rooms Real Madrid has had in some time. Egos, sure, but also a determination to become one of the best club sides of all time and to grow together as a team, to leave their mark on football history. It's bigger than them. They recognize that. And that's where the importance of Carlo Ancelotti comes in. As we've spoken about before, it's funny how Carlo Ancelotti wasn't the first choice manager to come in back in 2021. His reputation had taken a hit after his time at Bayern, Napoli, and Everton. But as we'd always said on this channel, the man isn't a builder for a club like Everton or Napoli. He's a manager that takes an already good team and makes them great. He's the head chef of a high-end restaurant, not the guy working on the line in the kitchen, you know? There had been so many questions as to how he would manage this group, but it's not as if his AC Milan sides of the past, where he had so much success, were filled with nobodies. Look at this team. Look at his team that won the Champions League in 2003. It's a who's who of the previous generation of top footballers. The atmosphere that he has fostered at Real Madrid is impeccable. Not every manager could oversee the integration of Mbappe, who had all eyes on him, as smoothly as this, with guys like Bellingham and Vinicius not feeling like they are completely overshadowed by it all. Not everyone will agree with this, as Real Madrid has as many haters as they do enjoyers, but for neutrals such as myself, for those who need an escape from watching their own club struggling along now and then, Real provides something interesting. Perez and his team's squad planning has reached a ridiculous point. Talented players who look like they have been playing together for some time, young players such as Güler and Endrick waiting in the wings, all under the guidance of one of the best managers of all time. It's a big problem for the rest of the clubs competing against them. And perhaps there are some arguments to be made that an all-dominating team will get boring. But it does feel like this is an era that will be looked back upon in football history as yet another poignant moment, provided by the usual suspects once again, and with the possibility of being even more dominant than ever, something we thought wouldn't really be possible. But that's my take on it, guys. It's one of those things where I'm obviously jealous of Real Madrid supporters, but I got to give it up to the club in how they have planned their squad building, the talent they have on show, and how impressive Ancelotti is to tie it all together. Not every manager could pull that off. Few could. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and whether you think Real will win it all this season or if another club could rock the boat. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.